Within the human emotional experience, we tend to confuse two emotions and use them interchangeably. One is envy, and the second is jealousy. Envy is an emotion that comes from a state of lack and it has desire as its driving force. Jealousy, on the other hand, is driven by fear. When I'm afraid to lose something, it's jealousy. When I want something, it's envy. Researchers say that there are 4 types of envy, and in fact, the first type is very, very healthy. Emulative envy is where I look at somebody and I say, oh, they have this, and I'd like to also get that. They've probably earned a degree, they've earned a certain amount of money, or they've acquired a certain set of skills. I look at it with envy and then I choose to build the same set of behaviors for myself. This is a very healthy form of envy and usually how envy is regulated. The other 3 forms of envy aren't particularly healthy. The second is called inert envy, where I look at something that someone has, desire it, but I don't do anything about it, and I'm just resentful inside. The other 2 types of envy, which are very, very unhealthy, are aggressive envy and spiteful envy. And in both, what happens is the resentment that I feel as a result of the desire is something that is internalized so deeply. I tend to become aggressive about it, I spread malicious lies, I gossip because the insecurity that I'm experiencing as a result of the envy is very, very high. And both tend to cause harm to the person who is experiencing the envy and very often to the victim of the envy. Jealousy, on the other hand, starts off usually as sibling rivalry. When I'm suddenly having to share my parents' affection, it is a form of jealousy. However, if parents prepare the children well, they usually are able to tide over that initial intense phase, but right through life, children tend to compare themselves with each other, and this is a normal human state as long as we are able to resolve the differences. Apart from this, I may feel scared to lose toys that I have or things that I have, and so become jealous around possessions, or more importantly, and more common in children, especially with children who are achievers, is where they've achieved come first in class, they've got an award, and they're scared to lose that position to somebody else. In later years, you will see these people who have acquired a lot of wealth or a title or a status being very scared to lose it to another person. And this usually is the root cause for a lot of corporate politics that we see playing out every day in our offices. Scientifically, envy and jealousy come from the same part of the brain that perceives shame as well. And as a result, people who have very, very deep-seated envy or jealousy also experience a lot of shame. As a result, they tend to control or manipulate other people because they feel out of control through the shame. Envy, when regulated well, can become a lovely driving force for self-improvement. Jealousy, on the other hand, even when regulated very well, can lead to a lot of control and manipulation in relationships. Jealousy, therefore, needs to be replaced or regulated in such a way that we're able to connect to a deeper sense of satisfaction and contentment within us, and it may not necessarily have solutions on the outside. And that's very important for us to acknowledge. Regulation always begins with awareness. We need to first stop the habit of comparison. Whether you favorably or unfavorably compare a person to another, it is likely to become the root of both envy and jealousy, because desire and fear are always present in the human experience, and it's very easy to slip into those when there is a trigger. The third and the most important step is to focus on strengths. The moment we start focusing on our strengths, it becomes very, very easy for us to rise above the desire and the fear that trigger the envy and the jealousy. Focusing consistently on strengths also helps us build confidence and resilience, which usually counter envy and jealousy. Whenever you're experiencing envy, see if you can use it as emulative envy and make a change in your life. Whenever it is jealousy, please sit down with your insecurities and discomfort and work gently through it with deep compassion, knowing that it's okay to sometimes feel insecure, but that need not become manipulation or control. Jealousy is only a state that's helping us to understand how we can protect our best interests. So we may need to be aware that when certain emotions come into our system and we don't understand them, don't acknowledge them, don't become aware of them, and don't regulate them, they become malicious over a period of time. However, within the human experience, with gentle awareness and compassionate work, we are usually able to regulate most